Hi there, you are going to join me on a shopping trip to Goodwill. I was by myself, and the first thing that I spied was this Homeco Cubist fairy lamp. Fairy lamp? Fairy light. And I like picking these up even though they are more common. I actually have one at home that I have kept because it had chips on it, but this one seems to be in super great condition. It would look really pretty if you had a color changing votive candle inside it. Then I spied this. I knew immediately what it was and who made it. This is made by Celebrity New York, made in the USA. It's a Starburst lucite cover for a Kleenex box. You can mount it on the wall or just keep it flat on your desk or table. But this had major chips here on this side, and I almost was, that's forgivable, but it was also on the other side as well. So I did leave that there. I had sold the Kleenex box, the hinged box, and a powder box, all with that same pattern. And moving on, there wasn't a lot here at the store at this time. Of course, there's a lot of things on the shelf, but to me, it was very kind of on the thin side. So you have to really look to see if there's any treasures. This was a made in Germany vinegar jug. It did have a chip on the bottom of it, and there was not an oil in sight. And then over on a small shelf area, they had these pottery pieces, and I feel that they were student pieces. They were very, very nicely done. I like that green one. And then this was nicely done as well. But I decided to leave those there. Just because I just didn't feel like buying them that day. I thought this one was different with that symbol on it. That was also a student piece. I wonder if someone had a class and these people didn't ever pick up their pieces and now they've been donated. I was really disappointed when I saw this. I finally figured it out. It looked like a snail shell to me, or a seashell. Really neat iridescent look to it. And then right there, big chip. Big chip. So I put that back on the shelf, and then I found this Avon perfume bottle. I was just at an in-person auction today and picked up 3 perfume bottles. One might be that Avon bottle, and then the other 2 have black glass stoppers. So you'll be seeing that in a video coming up soon this week. And then here is a hobbyist piece of cheese for your cheese board. It didn't have a date on it. I was kind of disappointed. I always like to find out when the hobbyist pieces were made. When I saw this deer head hook, I could tell it was higher quality. It did have a tag on it called, it says Fiona Walker, England, and it's cute. It's looks like a nursery decor. So I decided to look up that name on WorthPoint, but the WorthPoint solds were from 2019. That was like the latest one that came up. But they were on the higher side. But of course, this is years from now, in the past. It's not current listings. So after I looked through the WorthPoint ones, I decided, well, I wonder if on eBay, if there's any sold there that might be more recent. And sure enough, it turns out there is. This one sold March for $50. And here you can see the final ones. Some were auctioned off and some were buy it nows. This bear didn't sell for very high, $20. Still high for a bear. But this one was best offer accepted after they put it on sale. But still a pretty good deal. That was also best offer. When it has that green line through the price, you know that the seller took an offer on it. So I decided, well, those prices look good. I can't find the deer, and so it might be a hard to find item. And I thought it was super cute. It's lightweight. It's not breakable. So why not pick it up and give it a chance? This I at first thought was old, but it is more contemporary to make it look old. So back on the shelf it went. That's too big too. I mean, that's lightweight, so it wouldn't be hard to ship, but it might need an oversized box, which shoots up your shipping costs for your customer, which I try to keep low. Then they had some collectible spoons. I don't know if any one single collectible spoon is worth any money. I don't really know anything about collectible spoons. Then there was a purse that was made out of a coconut shell, and most like a souvenir. And then moving on, I did spy some things here. You always have to check out the baggies. There were magnets in here. It looked like a cat head and maybe a snake or something. So I decided to leave those there and then keep looking in that same area. There was this piece of artwork that the little birdies were made out of sea glass, I think. and then just seeing if I need those. Those look like they went together. And then this had a mid-century modern vibe to me. It was marked on the back. I did take the time to look it up, but it did have a lot of surface wear to the silver part, so that is why I left that there. This was a really pretty table chandelier lamp. I liked how the colors were muted. And this was a cute little turtle box, but it started out at 5. So, and I would probably sell that for maybe 10. So I'm halfway in. And then I was wondering why someone would want a sign that said Amish birdhouses, because it looked like a decor item. It didn't look like someone had, was using it for their store or anything. I could be completely wrong. But this little stitchery stuck out, and I wanted to see what it was, and it turned out it is 2 stitchery pieces that someone has glued to the cardboard. I did take them out of the frame. The frames are more modern. They're not older, but the pieces themselves are in really good condition, and that will also help on the shipping to my customer because it's not in a heavy glass frame. And then you could pick out something that kind of pulls out the colors, the blue, the orange, maybe a green. So then I was hoping that maybe someone had made more than just the 2. So I was looking around, and then this got kind of heavy, and there was a mirror involved, which made me nervous. So I stepped away. And then I found this old time photo, and at first I thought, is this real? Because it had kind of a sepia brown tone to it. And then I was distracted by I thought this was a lucite frame, but it might have just been a plastic frame. So I put that back and went back to investigating this picture. And I tried to open it up on the back, but that thing was not moving. It was stuck. I didn't want to break it. So I turned around, and then I decided to try that thing with when you look for transfer wear, if you go real close and you see the dots. And so I think that was a copy of a photo. I don't think it was an original photo. And then I found these, and I was wondering if these were real or reproductions that someone had put in a mat. And the frames were really dusty, so they had age to them, but the frames were newer. And then this piece was different because it looked like someone had cut it out of a magazine and put it against that brown paper bag. So that might have been from a magazine, but I think the other 2 were reproductions. I had this as a teacher, the ABCs of teaching, but this is the ABCs of aging gracefully. Feel free to pause it so you can read it. I thought it was pretty sweet. And then I thought this was not what it was from. This is from Target, from the dollar section. And then on the end cap, they had these 2 figurines that reminded me of Germany figurines, but they weren't marked Germany. And then over in the wood section, they had these 2 little folk art bunnies. I also spied this, I think it's carnival glass, even though it is kind of a smoky gray color. I thought it was pretty, but I'm not in the market for that. And this ends our shopping trip. And because that was such a short video, I decided to share with you some footage from when I went to go visit my folks in Oregon. We went, Jenny and I went to see them the end of March into April. And I filmed some things that my aunt made for my mom. And my aunt is a very good fabric, I would say, she's very good at counter cross stitch. And she's picked up felt projects. You will see with the footage what I'm talking about, and I hope you enjoy this little snippet from my visit with my folks. They're so cute. That's Wham, and that's you. And she did make the seashell.
Yeah. It's a product that you paint fabric with.
This little puppy dog.
Brad having a tea party.
My aunt used to do counter cross stitch. She's an amazing artist with that. She would do it on linen, so such tiny stitches, and then she discovered this, and now her creative outlet is making things like this. So she made the two little gnomes. My mom has a thing about red-haired fairies, so she always makes, I think, one with red hair to kind of represent my mom. And then she put together this little table for them to sit at. Here's my mom's dog, one of her two dogs. This is Bobby. Doesn't he look like the emoji with that patch over his eye? On my mom's side of the family, we have some Norwegian heritage, and so my mom has embraced that, and she collects little Vikings and things that have to do with Norway and Vikings and things like that. So my aunt made her this tiny little mouse that sits on a ship that was not handmade. And then here is another Viking. You can hear Susie growling at me. Here's another Viking doll that she made all by hand. She just whips these up. I don't know if she uses patterns anymore, because I think she maybe might use her own imagination and comes up with some things for some of them, or she really I know, Sue. She really personalizes what they are if she does use a pattern. These she made in honor of Ukraine with the Ukrainian colors of blue and yellow. I thought those were really pretty, nice and bright and cheery.
Oh, now, are you doing a little sewing, girl?
Mm-hmm.
Just let me get my thimble, because there's a place for the thimble. Goes on her tail. You can.
Oh, whoops. Oh, that comes over here. I'll show it here.
And then she's a pin cushion.
Yes. And then the last one is this fairy.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me hold that up.
That's so cute.
And she dyed
The felt.
uh-huh.
And then the gnome.
Here, I can take the.
I just want to show the little feet.
Here, let me take off this. And the seashells that are on
Oh, he's leaking sand. Quick, go back in your spot. No, I got it. It's really cute.
And you got the seashells on the side?
I hope you enjoyed our little trip to Oregon to see my mom and the artwork. I hope you enjoyed this video as well, and our trip to Goodwill. All of the items that I found today at Goodwill will be up for sale in my eBay store. A link to my eBay store is in the description of every video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya.